Okay, so welcome, lady. It's our January meeting. Today is January 11th, and thanks so much for joining me. I know December was hard for a lot of us because between personal life and just everyone's crazy schedule in December and the early shipping deadline does make it tough. And so I think this year being my second year of approaching the holidays, I was able to be a little more creative than I was last year. And last year we also were moving around the holidays, so that was rough. But anyway, brush it off if you didn't have the month you wanted and look forward to January. And I love that we're still only a third of the way through the month. So there's still so much time. If people that you've contacted about a party, if they haven't responded to you at all, or if they gave you a maybe, check back with them ASAP and say, we've got 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks or so left in January. Would you like to fit in an in-home party? It can be casual, or you can do an easy Facebook party, and they can still take advantage of those double hostess rewards. So I would get back again with those ladies that haven't gotten back with you or gave you a maybe. Just check back in with them because, again, if you connected with them towards the end of December, early January, they might have just been overwhelmed and didn't know what their schedule was going to bring for January. So follow up with them. And then I can't remember if either of you ladies have been involved at all with the team Facebook party that Tara has been doing the last few months. I was pretty involved in November's, and that worked out well because people were thinking about Christmas gifts. So I had a few decent size orders because they had some bundles, that they were offering. And I think I had more time that month to personally message people and text them or whatever. Then I can't remember how involved I was for December. Anyway, I at least make sure if I haven't had a chance to invite anyone personally, I try to attend if I'm not doing anything that night because, one, I just like watching people do their Facebook Live parties because it gives me ideas. And Tara, with her being 3 years in, she's got so much more knowledge about the products than I do. So I usually learn something just for myself, if nothing else. Sorry, messages are coming through. Well, I would encourage you because really she does all the work for the most part. She does the live 30-minute portion. She does a lot of the pre-posting, and she does all the giveaways. So even if you don't want to offer anything extra to your customers to come or to order, anyone that orders 40 or more gets entered into a drawing to win something that she's going to give away. And anyone that books a party gets entered into win a drawing, and it creates a lot of excitement. So if they're on the verge of hosting or they're not really sure if they'd like to host, or especially if they're out of town, it gives them a really good glimpse into what it would be like to host a Facebook party with you. So I've been posting about it in my VIP page, but also when it comes to closer to that time, I think the next one's February 7th. When it gets closer to that, within a week, if I have some ladies saying, yeah, I might need to reorder soon, or I've been thinking about whatever, I say, well, do you want to join my team Facebook party? And so instead of me putting on a mystery hostess party or doing my own party, I kind of use this. And then if I have enough orders, this month I didn't, but if I have enough orders, I can group them into a party and collect the rewards myself. So that's kind of nice. So I would encourage you guys, if you're not taking advantage of that, to start and maybe just start attending. If you don't have time to connect with the customers to invite them, just at least start attending and see how it's run, learn some things from Tara, and then go from there. But like I said, if you have some customers and maybe you don't have an order going in anytime soon, you could turn this into a party order and have it put that in. So that is a great once a month thing that we've started. Okay, so next weekend I am going to the leadership retreat in North Carolina, and they sent us an email, and they asked us a bunch of questions about things that we've been wanting to learn or be trained on, or just like questions that we have for some of the top leaders. And I'm excited to go because I definitely see it as an investment. I hate spending money on training stuff. It's just in me. I'm a saver. So, but I know it's good because this was honestly the one thing I was not looking forward to when it came to having ladies join my team, because I was like, I don't really necessarily want to be a leader or like be a director and all that. So I know it's an area that I struggle with. So I'm excited to go and to learn. And I do want to apologize because I know in the last couple months between the holidays and my own business, I have dropped the ball with connecting with all of you ladies. And that's one thing I want to get better about, is balancing my time between checking in with you guys and running my own business. I seem to either be good at one or the other, not balancing. So that's definitely going to be one of my questions for the leaders, is how they do that. Because I know many of them do that well, and many of them did that even with full-time work too. So that is definitely one of my questions for them. But all that is to say, if there's specific topics that you guys would like training on, please send me the questions. If you want to share them with me in a second or so, you can, or send me the questions via message or post in our group tonight or tomorrow. I just have to submit some questions before Friday. So if you guys have any ideas, I would love to learn some things that you guys are interested in to be able to share with you, to come back from training and have a training with you guys. Or just, it might not be a specific topic. Maybe you just have a random couple of questions that maybe I can answer, maybe I can't. But yes, please feel free to let me know. And I would love to get better trained on that. Some things that you guys might be interested in. And I'm also excited to go because I know there's quite a few leaders that, I don't know, they have crazy sales all the time and they lead very well, and everyone does it differently. And so I'm excited to learn from some different leaders and how they run their business, because that might resonate with me. And also, I know a lot of us are busy, and so private messaging or texting works for most of us. But if any of you are interested in like a phone call, I'd be more than happy to schedule that biweekly or once a month, whatever works for you. Just let me know, because otherwise I'll plan on connecting via text message or via Messenger. But if a phone call is something you would like, I know that works better for some people. And it wouldn't be long. It would be 15-20 minutes, talk about business stuff. I would not hold you hostage, because let's face it, we all don't have a lot of time. So we have to be smart with our time. Okay. And the last thing, our team goal again for this month is 10,000, and recruiting goal is 5. This month, if you do have some hostesses lined up, definitely mention that business opportunity to them, because they can use those double credits towards their kit if they're interested. So that's one thing to remember. Okay. All right. So I didn't have a lot. That was the main thing I had. And so while and I know that was short, but I think we're all okay with that because it's like 9:05. So while I was talking, or beforehand, because I know I posted a little bit earlier today, did either of you ladies have any topics or any specific questions that you have been thinking about in your business that you wanted to ask tonight? Make sure you're...
Do you have me?
I do.
Go ahead.
Are you sure? I can wait. I wrote it down.
Alphabetically, you're first. You're okay.
Oh, all right. All right. So I was talking to my husband earlier, and he said that he was giving me a little bit of feedback, and some of the feedback that he was giving me was a lot of people on Facebook don't know what a Facebook party is. Okay. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not very good with words. Okay. I'm not, like, it took me forever to get that out. Okay.
Yep.
But I'm thinking like something going live and kind of explaining what it is, but I don't really know. I don't know. I need some help with that.
Okay. Yes. So I would probably go live to explain it because it would be easier, because what I have been doing in my Facebook parties is for that 30-minute party portion is actually going live. So I can talk to them. I can give them more information about the product than just posting every 5 minutes. And I can show them the products. I think it makes it more personal and it gets them interested. If you have people interested in a Facebook party for this month, I would try to go live soon to try to explain it so they can take advantage of the January double hostess rewards. Otherwise, my suggestion would be to invite them to come to our team Facebook party on February 7th. They would get to see Tara do a 30-minute live. You can say, this is my director, my executive director, big multi-consultant team Facebook party. I wanted to give you a taste of what a Facebook party would be like. And I thought it'd be easier for you to watch one than me just explain it. So you could also do that. And it's a group that we have that if you're not a part of it, I can add you. And basically with their permission, you just add your guest. And they all join on February 7th at 9 o'clock. We get on and you'd be watching her live and she could type it. You can type in questions and things like that. And you join your guest right there. So those are two options. So if you want them, if they're interested in a party this month, I would go live. Jot down some notes, jot down some bullet points. I usually keep my Facebook parties open about a week-ish. I know Tara does a little shorter. I give my hostess a little bit of front-end time to start inviting her guests. I have some hosts that are on top of it. As soon as I make my Facebook party, they invite their guests like within an hour. And then I have some hosts like the next day and a half, I have to remind them, okay, party's next Wednesday. Do you have your list of who you like to invite? So I give it around 7 to 8 days. And I usually run my Facebook parties on a weeknight, Monday through Thursday. I think the weekends are pretty busy for most people. And I try to end, most of the time I've been ending my Facebook parties to close on a Friday. So it's payday for a lot of people. And I usually check, if not Friday, then sometime during the weekend. And I check with my hostess that she's going to be available for me to chat with her, as I'm closing the party. So, yep, so those would be my couple options. Have you, Amanda Schiller, have you seen a Facebook party? Have you seen one run like live?
To think of it, no, yes, I have. Maybe. Okay. I don't know. I think I have.
You in on one of Tara's? One of the team ones?
Maybe one of the team ones?
Yeah, thank you. I'm like, I feel like I have some structure in my background, but I don't remember where it's from. Yeah, it's from one of the team ones.
Okay. I'm also doing one tomorrow night. I've got a Facebook party. Not really sure how it's going to go because this is the first time I've had a host invite like 10 people. And that was like it for a Facebook party. And I'm like encouraging her to reach out on her timeline. And I mean, Grena, I think like everyone but one that she invited clicked going. So I'm like, well, that's good. She was selective in who she invited, but I know not every one of those people is going to order. Well, that's what I'm assuming, but you never know. So anyway, if you want to join me, I'll add you, with her permission to our event tomorrow night at 9. And I know my style will probably be a little different than Tara's, and that's okay. But it might just give you a little more frame of reference of how to explain it to your customers. So if you want me to, I can add you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, Amanda, I can. I feel like
my first Facebook party went really, really well, and then everything else has been a flop since then. So, yeah. But I think a lot of it too is just getting people to engage is really, really hard.
It is hard, and that's probably one of my topics I am going to submit when I go to Leadership Retreat for that is just how do I get engagement? And I know a lot of it is being present on my Facebook page and my group page, and I'm just not always, because that's probably the one thing I forget. So I know if I planned out those posts and had them scheduled to post when, even if I'm busy, they're posting so it looks like I'm engaging. That's probably one thing I need to do and work more on and figure out a schedule, because just being being consistent in whatever form you have gets that engagement. And even my parties, sometimes if I don't have my parties scheduled to post and I've had a busy day and I forget to post, like now I'm just thinking, did I remember to post in this girls event? Because sometimes when you hop on Facebook, you get distracted and you forget. And so if I don't do my work right away, I'm like scrolling through whatever. And before you know it, I've forgotten to do what I need to do. And that's the one thing. I've used Margot once. I need to get more familiar with it because it's a free service to us consultants, and it allows you to plan out your posts, and that just posts for you. And it's really kind of cool. So I just need to do that more. But yeah, Facebook parties, for me, I think it's a lot about the host. I've had one or two hosts that have been really great as far as I can tell that they've shown me. And the party's been a flop. But normally it's like if the host isn't super great, then the party is normally a flop. So, and I
Where
really
do you find a good host?
How do you find a good host? Some of it depends on their personality to be a good host. I do send all my Facebook hosts, especially if they've never tried any of the products, I send them an info kit, the favorites one that has the body polish and lotion and lip balm and something else. And I really have lately tried to stress them sharing that with other people, because I know that the more people try our products, the more likely they are willing to buy something. So I've tried to make sure that not only is she trying the samples, but is she sharing them with her friends. And I do give samples to my local host. Not usually 4 samples, just kind of whatever I have on hand. I usually make up a sample of Healing Elements because that's a popular item. And again, I try to encourage them to share it with people that either A, can't come to the party, but might still want to order, or people that are maybe not super excited about coming to the party or might be worried about coming. And hopefully trying the samples would encourage them to come. So, and then hostess coaching is another thing, that constant connection with the host and talking about their wish list, which I a lot of times forget to do, because if they have a long wish list, basically they can see it written right there. Like, well, if I want to get $60 worth of free products, my party needs to be, close to 400. So it gives them motivation to connect with their friends, reach out to them, share about what products they love, why they love them. My current Facebook party, the host she's tried some products before, and I sent her an info kit, and that's just the one that's invited like 8 people or so. She's done good about sharing about the products that she loves. She's had a little bit of engagement. So I'm trying to figure out how to get a little bit more engagement, and that's why I'm not really sure how many people are going to show up on the party tomorrow. So you might all watch me do a dud party tomorrow, but as long as the hostess shows up, that's what matters, because then you can at least talk to her, and her guests can always watch the replay of your live party, which is great. And I'm not closing till Saturday. So we will see how that goes. Amanda Waltz, what was your question? Or what was that part of it? You're muted. Hang on, let me unmute yourself. There you go.
It was pretty much the same thing. I was just, I'd love more information about, just getting people to engage on the Facebook parties and doing more hostess coaching. I don't know. I feel like I'm putting a lot out there right now, but I'm also limited. I really can't do a lot in person right now. It just is not working. But even, I don't know. I feel like I'm putting a lot out there, but I'm not getting a lot of interest. And my personality, I really struggle with, I don't want to sort of push the sales thing, just because I know how I responded to that kind of, those kinds of contacts. So yeah, I guess I just, more information on trying to get the engagement up, and in general, but then also specifically for Facebook parties and stuff.
So outside of Facebook parties and inside of Facebook parties. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So those will be some of my questions and some of my topics I will submit because I don't necessarily have all the answers. One thing I noticed in the beginning with you, Amanda, when you first started, you were sharing a lot of posts with like just one product in particular, why you liked it, what you liked about it. And I felt like I saw a lot of engagement through those types of posts when you posted just about the BB cream or just about the microdermabrasion cream. I'm trying to remember all the ones that you posted about. And I don't know if that's, if you've noticed any difference between those type of posts and maybe current posts you're doing, or if people are now just become more familiar. So they have their favorites, so they're comfortable with what they have and they don't necessarily want to try anything else.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. That's a good point.
It's not salesy. It's just, information really,
Right.
with a hint of mystery and like enticement. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but something along those lines. So.
Well, and I also feel like too, I mean, not that it would necessarily be a whole lot of help at this point for this year, but maybe in planning for next January. Like I know that there's the double rewards and things like that. And I know that they're giving us a lot of incentives to try and help us be more motivated to work the business as well. But I think, January is just killer. Like it doesn't matter if I'm offering double rewards. People are like, I don't want anything. I don't need anything. And so it's just been really hard. And yeah.
So pretty much your current customers are stocked up in their product basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So now we're trying to figure out how to expand your reach.
Or they're just totally out of cash because they spent everything on the holidays.
No.
Yeah.
Yes. And so are any of them willing to host? Because like if they are out of cash, that's one way to get around that. If they have, if they're willing to host, and then they can collect the hostess rewards, but obviously they need to have friends that they think of that they want to invite to the party. And, basket party is another idea for getting around doing an in-home party basket replacement.
I did like 3 basket parties early on, and they were total flops, total flops. Like, and I felt like I spent so much money preparing them and putting the stuff in it. So maybe, that would be another thing at some point, like how people really make basket parties work for them. Because actually I just told Amanda Schiller this weekend, like it just did not work for me at all, and I thought it was gonna be like awesome. And I guess it kind of depends on it was pretty early for me too. That's now that I'm thinking about it, it was kind of early for me. So even the people who were taking the baskets were not necessarily people who are really well versed in the products themselves and didn't have their own favorites. So, yeah.
From what I heard I've done 2 or 3 of them. And I think just one was a flop. It was like the lady at our bank who we were trying to get a loan through. Anyway, it didn't go well at all. I don't think she ever really shared any of the samples that were in the basket. So what I've heard from Ashley Sanford, who's done tons of basket parties, and she has a video. I don't know if either of you have watched her video in Hearts of Gold. I can try and find it and tag you, or if you just type in basket parties in the search group in Hearts of Gold, it should come up, and she does an example of what she puts in her baskets and talks about a little about it. And she really is the basket queen on our team. So she would be the one to ask any of those questions too. But I think what I remember her saying is that it totally depends on the host for the most part when it comes to a basket party. So they do have to be a little well-versed in the products. Having favorites is key because usually what their favorites are is what's going to sell. So I had one basket party that went well because a friend of mine, it took her forever to host, and she finally did, but it was like 9 months into me selling, and so she had used quite a few of the products, so she did have a lot of her favorites. So I know she was a good seller of the products because she could talk about them in great detail. And I think in that video, Ashley also talked about, and I've done this since then, I think it's helped even with some of my in-home parties, I've offered, if you don't want to, you as the host don't want to add up shipping and tax, just take a pic of the order, send it to me, I'll add it up and send you back the total. So, that might be some of the issue with Hostess wanting to figure out how to, and I always do a link on my website too, that they can go right to the link and order and they don't have to fill out a paper form, but some people like to do the paper form. So I let them know I will add up anything for you. And that has worked well, not just for basket parties, but for some of my in-home parties with outside orders leading up to the party. So yeah, I would look in Hearts of Gold for that to get some ideas. And again, now with you being more familiar with the products and having some more friends that are more familiar with the products, they might be willing to host. And I would just, again, stress about letting everybody try it. Like the more they try it, the more they will be excited about the products and willing to purchase something. So. All right, ladies. Well, I'm going to wrap it up. If anything comes to mind between now and tomorrow evening or whatever of questions or other topics, please let me know, and I will be sure to include those in my submission to home office for the leadership retreat next weekend. So, all right, ladies, thanks for taking time out to join me. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night.
Thanks.
All right. Talk to you later.
Night.
Bye.